This morning, we're getting our first look at what the American people really think of the classified document scandal and the new Republican-led House. A new NBC News poll out this morning shows that even though the situations differ greatly, 67% of Americans are concerned about the classified documents found at President Joe Biden's former office and personal home. And the same percentage says the same about classified information found at Donald Trump's residence. And some of Speaker McCarthy's actions, like blocking Congressman Schiff and Congressman Eric Swalwell, seem to fit another poll finding. 55% of Americans believe House Republicans will spend too much time investigating Biden and not enough time on other priorities. Joining me now, Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi, member of the House Intelligence and Oversight Committees, and Congressman Jason Crow, also a member of House Intelligence and a former House impeachment manager for the first impeachment of Donald Trump. Congressman, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show. We've got to talk about the new NBC News poll. Congressman Crow, Americans voted Republicans into power in Congress by a slim margin. But 3 weeks in, we're seeing that they don't seem to be about governing or legislating, but about retribution. And we've been talking a lot about Congressman Swalwell and Congressman Schiff not rejoining you on the House Intel Committee. Does that help the American people in any way?
Hi, Jonathan. The short answer is no, it does not. The American public is very smart. They know the difference between credible oversight, credible accountability in politicized investigations, politicized actions. Removing people from the House Intelligence Committee, which is an extremely important committee that both Raja and I sit on, for political purposes, does not serve the American public. It does not serve American national security. You're taking two very experienced, very credible members of that committee, and you're taking them off, and you're taking that experience away from Americans. So to do that for politics is obviously not consistent with what's in the best interest of the American public. And more so, it actually undermines our national security.
You know, Congressman Krishnamoorthi, on Tuesday, Speaker McCarthy, he denied the seats to Swalwell and Schiff, claiming they're both unfit to serve on the panel. Congressman Swalwell was on State of the Union this morning and had this to say about it. Listen.
This is some Bakersfield BS. It's Kevin McCarthy weaponizing his ability to commit this political abuse because he perceives me, just like Mr. Schiff and Ms. Omar, as an effective political opponent.
And as we saw on the screen, it was Swalwell, Schiff, and also Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. So is there any way to see this other than political revenge?
It's hard for me to see it in any other way. Look, I think that there was a red line that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and Congressman Gosar crossed, which was promoting political violence. Just to refresh your viewers' recollection, Marjorie Taylor Greene said in a video posted on Facebook that Nancy Pelosi was guilty of treason punishable by death. She then approvingly liked posts on her Facebook page saying that Pelosi and FBI officials should be executed for treason. And then in Gosar's case, he posted an anime in which he slits the throat of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and then attacks President Biden with swords. Schiff, Swalwell, and Omar didn't do any of that stuff. And so that is why, what we see happening right now is clear, just political retribution. It's just politics.